Hello guys, this is Untold story of my first pregnancy. I don't claim that my life is harder than anybody else. I decided to share this story because if there is someone out there who quietly is struggling and experiencing difficulties, you can find courage and hope in this video. So I will begin when we find out these complications. That was 20 weeks of my pregnancy, which is like gender reveal. It should be a nice experience because it's like that will be the time that we are going to know what will be the gender. But then they saw some complications in the scan. So from pregnancy care unit, which is like the normal care that you will get here in the UK for healthy pregnancy, they referred me to fetal medicine unit, which is more hands-on, and the consultant is the one who's going to be your sonographer, which is from scanning she can tell what's wrong and they can closely monitor what is happening to you and the baby. So they referred me there. What are the complications that they seen or they saw on baby? So first, there's like the echo ecological bowel, no, echo, that first about the baby's bowel, and then the fluid around his tummy, and also enlarge of liver. So there's a lot of complication and there's a lot of tests that they've done for me. And then on our first scan in this unit, which is the fetal medicine unit, they really confirm about this. And one thing that is really heartbreaking is that they directly said that the baby might die. So there's an option to abort it, or we can do some tests. They will do this test not to cure or treat the complications, but they will know what's the reason why the baby have complications, and they might find a cure for it. So I've done a lot of blood tests actually, and then they did a lot of tests on that blood, which is like meningitis, genetics, some viruses or other things like that. And then there's other tests that they want us to do, but there's a high chance that I might get miscarriage. So I got this paper that they gave me before. It's amniocentesis chorionic vellus sampling. And so it's like a big needle that will go from my tummy to the baby. That's why there's a lot of chance that I might miscarriage if they will do this test. But with this test, they said that they might see, because all of those tests that they've done on my blood, it came negative. So this test, they said that they might know, there's a lot of chance that they might know what was the reason why the baby had complications like that. But me and Tim didn't went through with this test, and they respect it. But every time we go to this scans, which is almost like every 2 weeks, and sometimes if I have like tummy ache or stomach ache because of this complication, I will call them and then they will ask me to come in and have a test again. So it's almost like if I am okay, it will be every 2 weeks. But if I am not okay, sometimes if I have headaches or like hips pain, something like that, I will call them and then they will book me for scan again. And what's really saddened and very heartbreaking, because every time that after this scan, they will mention that the baby will die right before I'm going to give birth, or right after he will born. So it's like, is it worth it for me and Tim to fight for this baby? So it's every time also so hard. It's still so happy for me to say this story. So June 2024, this was my most painful month, I can say. Dito nagsimula na almost every week tumatawag ako, masakit yung tiyan ko, masakit yung hips ko, may ganito. So every time that I call them, something's wrong with me, I have headache, something like that, they will ask me to come in, and they will monitor me. Before end of June, they said that I need to deliver the baby via C-section. They keep on preparing us for what might happen. When they said that I need to deliver the baby via C-section, this need to be urgent. It's not emergency, but it should be in urgent list. So they put me in an urgent list that was scheduled July 10. So a week before, they prepared me for C-section. They did a lot of blood tests. They get some blood samples for preparing for the C-section in case if I need some blood transfusion, they can find like a blood sample. So Saturday, that was July 6, at 4 a.m., my hips are really hurt. I'm in pain. I called them and they said, you need to come in. I went there. They monitored me until like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. The pain subsided a little bit. They let me go home. But then in the afternoon, it was very painful again. It's almost like my sister said that might be like labor pain. So I called them again, and then they said, okay, you need to take all your things for birth, and we need to admit you. So we went there. I was thankful for Tim's auntie, because when he called them, they went here and take us to the hospital. But that time, because it's already like around at 8 p.m. and then we were admitted, and they gave me painkiller. I think that's morphine. Sunday evening, we went home because everything is okay and everything is fine. And then Monday, so that is July 8th. So my scheduled C-section will be July 10. So 2 days before the operation, you need to have a blood sample. Again, Monday afternoon, which is around 1 p.m., we went back to the hospital to give blood samples again and blood tests. And we went home, like, okay. And then we had like dinner, me and Tim, and then Tim is like preparing the baby's room. At 5 p.m., I felt that my waters broke. So that night it was an emergency. Tim is like, oh, okay, let's go. And then from urgent list, it went to emergency. So I had an emergency section at July 8th, and then
Magandang umaga.
Tim should say this because this is really his point of view, because he did a lot of effort and things from July 8th until December, when Sam went home. So I will encourage him to tell his point of view from here.